Okay, Pinder and Armin here, and I'm going to show you how to make these bitGANs. They've revealed to us their secrets and how you make them, and I guess we're going to the next stage where we're all going to collab. I'm going to collab with any owner that wants to on making these, and I'm going to show you exactly how. And the secret of this is it's not some high-tech thing with the bitGANs, it's their training data. These were made with the GANs. It's sort of a GAN trying to imagine, trying to pull into focus the training data. And the training data is very simple. It's thousands of these 32 by 32 pixel images, 8-bit art. And the 8-bit art, when colored in just the right way and shifted left to right, you'll see somewhere in the center, somewhere to the left, somewhere to the right, shifted in just the right way that makes the eyes cover, overlap each other. The GAN zeroes in on the eyes, uses that as an anchor, and it's just trying to find patterns. And when it does that, it makes the bitGANs dance. And you see the colors shifting from the fact that we're coloring all these things differently. So this notebook, this method that we're about to share with you, shows you how to make thousands of these without doing any work at all. It's really simple, and this is the notebook. So I'm going to walk through all this code, not much. All you got to do is hit, you don't even have to type a single line of code to make your first set. But then as you understand it or not, you'll be able to make adjustments to this in your own bitGAN training data generator and even customize the art. So step one, save a copy in your drive. And that's what I just did. So it's just made me a copy of bitGAN training data. So I'm going to call it Pindar's copy of bitGAN training data. And so you don't get confused, I'm going to close the other training data. All right, and like I was saying, this is going to create thousands of the 8-bit images by randomly combining 6 layers from ping files and then randomly recoloring each of those layers according to a palette that you'll see below that you can code if you want or adjust. And then it's going to randomly shift, making moves left and right to produce that dancing effect. And that's really important. I'll get into details of how exactly you do it. But if you shift it left and right and line up the eyes just right, you know, when you're shifting left, you shift it the width of an eye. And the width so it covers up another eye. Like I'll repeat this again, but because it's very important. The GAN zeroes in on that pattern and finds the eye, and then drags the body around with it, because the neural network is just trying to resolve and get patterns understood, and it makes them dance. So let me show you what these layers look like: the background, the texture, the body, the head, the face, and the overlay. And here's what they look like real quick. You got a background which is blank. There's nothing in the background. We're just going to recolor this different colors. And you got texture, which you'll see body, head. Head's the important one, and face. Here I have 5. When I make my bitGANs, I have probably 80 heads but you know, I just put 5 into this little template. And what's important is that these is pure red, pure green, and pure blue. You know, in RGB, it's 255 0 0 0 255 0 and 0 0 255. And that's important because this program that I'm going to describe takes its cue of how to recolor this. It's going to search for all the red pixels and recolor that. The default is going to search for the green pixels and color that a different color. And it's going to search for all the blue pixels and color that a different color. And then the most important layer, though, is the face, because that gives the bitGAN its personality, right? You'll notice that these are pure black and pure white. 0 0 0 and 255 255 255. If you make your own, use these. Feel free to use these. But if you make your own, just be aware that the black's going to be replaced with a dark color, and the white's going to be replaced with a very light color. So knowing all that, let's get into the code and show you how to make them. Step 1 is setting up your folder structure. Download bitGANs from this link. I'm going to walk you through it. And I'm going to go to bitGANs just down here, download. Sort of like takes a couple seconds for the zip file to realize it's zipping, but it's very small. There's only like 12 pings. So there it is. Open in folder, extract all. I'm just going to extract it all. And there they are. And here's the bitGAN folder. And this is the next step. You go to my drive. You're going to have all these different things. You can see I have some more bitGANs I'm working on. And I am going to copy the bitGANs into my root folder. And there it is, my drive, and the root folder is bitGANs right here. You look in here, we have the layers that I was showing you. These are now yours to play with, and if you edit them, fine. But you know, let's get through this tutorial. I'll leave that open just with that data. So now that you've got your template, your folder structure, and the layers, we're going to mount the drive. So here I'm going to go ahead and mount the drive. This takes a couple seconds. Yep. And allow it. All right, and this is working. I told you you're not going to have to put a single line of code if you don't want. If you're just the artistic type, all you have to do is like you can go mess around with the pings that I was showing you in those drives, and you will get really good results. Okay, drive is mounted. Here we're going to pull some libraries in for the Python. And here's where we decide to find the colors. Quick explanation. I just have these default colors. I just made them. I just went through the rainbow, and then white, gray, black. But here's where you tell the different colors, what different colors go in different layers. So, in this case, I want the background to be cyan, magenta, and yellow, very light versions. I want the texture to be these. I want the textures to be in the blue range, so I'm like mint, turquoise, cyan, blue, and purple. So we just want bodies in this range, the head all over the place, the face I want all over the place, and then I want the overlay to be the entire rainbow. But here's where you can define that. And then to get a little deeper is there's variations. You can make it ultralight, muted, light, and dark. And I'll show you how that's used later. But important part is you're here. See that check mark? That means you run the code. No check mark there, so I'm going to run the code. That just is defining the colors. Now here are the functions that will recolor each color. Remember I told you about the pure black, pure red, pure green, pure white. Anyway, if it's white pixels in any of the ping layers, it'll be replaced with an ultralight version of a randomly selected color from this list. If it's green, it'll be a light version. Red is a default version. Blue is a dark version of the color. Black is a muted version. That's both dark and less saturation. In the ping, anything that's not one of these pure colors will not be changed. So you can override and have your own colors that'll be constantly used over and over again. But these are the ones that get replaced. All right. So let's run this code. Done. Pretty simple. All right. Now, how to make the bitGANs dance. This is kind of interesting. The layers, you saw the layers are all static. If we didn't shift them left and right, they would just be on top of each other, and you get a static bitGAN just in there not moving. So we do two things. This is the shift index is how we're going to shift the different layers. For example, the background layer never gets shifted. The texture layer gets shifted a little with that one, and then the body, head, face, and over layer gets shifted a lot. I'll show you later how and why you define that shift, but this just, if you want to get a little more granularity, most people will never touch this, but this is the code responsible for making the bitGAN move left and right. All right. Oh, here we're going to read the directories. So we're going to go ahead and, let's see, you're going to read the directories, and at this point what it did is it went into your layers folder and read all these files so it can use them. Okay. And then, oh, I'm sorry, that was this step. So that defines the directory. This reads the directories, and there we go. Because now it knows all its assets. Okay. And here we create the training bitGAN data. This is the final step. Tell how many bitGANs you want. Here's 100 just for this demonstration. Don't go forever. You can make as many as you want, 1,000. The size you want the output image to be. 512 works on a lot of GANs, but some GANs are smaller. You need to be 128 or 256, up to you. And then this is how many pixels one I need to shift me on top of the other. The ones in this sample are 8, so like if you'll see the bitGANs moving left and right, and they'll move so that when you shift one, the left eye will be on top of the right eye of the other one, and that's important to just get the GAN going, and that's the hardest thing in this whole process to understand. But the GAN will zero in on that eye, and it's GAN searching for a pattern. It doesn't understand the image, it's looking for a pattern. It's going to find these eyes are typically, no matter what the bitGAN, the eyes are in the same place, and it's going to zero in on that pattern and drag the rest of the colors along with it, and that's what makes it dance. Let's set that over and over again. So let's go ahead and see what happens when we run this. Big note here, a lot of times this will error out. When it errors out, I've found the best thing to do is go right to the beginning and just do every step over and over from scratch. I wouldn't change anything. Run, run, just run. Sometimes things are done in the wrong order and they get messed up. But look, check mark, it ran in 13 seconds. So let's go look. Remember the bitGANs folder? Here's a new folder called output. If we look in the output, look what we see. Oh, that was cool. Get rid of that. Here's your new bitGANs. Okay. So that's the basic tutorial. Let me give you an advanced tutorial real quick while keeping this. No, that's the basic tutorial. Let's keep it here. I'm going to make a second video that's going to be the advanced tutorial, and I'm going to make it right now, but we'll make it 2 different tutorials. And the next one, feel free to tune in. I'm going to show you how to edit the colors, and then I'm going to also show you how to edit these layers. We're going to do something with this face. Okay, so look forward to that in the next tutorial. Been great talking to you. I'm going to show you guys how to make these. See.